Hey, it's Dane here. A little bit of a message to anyone that has a vision, that has a goal, that has an idea. You got to go for it. You got to be patient. You got to trust the process. You got to take that step towards that idea. That idea isn't just an idea for the simple fact that it's supposed to only exist in your mind. You have that idea for a reason. It's there and it's connected to you, and your sole purpose is to make that idea come to life. Now, I don't know the outcome, and you don't know the outcome, but what I do know is that you most likely have an idea, and you don't want to sleep on it. You don't want to sleep on that vision. You don't want to sleep on that goal or that idea. You got to work up the courage to make that idea come to life for yourself, for you. Because that idea isn't just a thought. That thought is a real thing. And that real thing can turn into reality. You might be stuck somewhere thinking to yourself, man, I want more in life. You might think to yourself, why do I settle for this? You might think to yourself, man, it'd be so great if things were this way or that way or a little bit different. And the truth is that they can be different. And you might be unsatisfied with where you're at in life. And that just means that you're meant for more. You're simply meant for more. You can take on more. And you wouldn't have that idea inside your thought or inside your mind or inside your subconscious mind. You're just afraid of judgment. You're afraid of people not liking you. You're afraid of it not working. And the crazy thing is that most likely with your situation, you show up for someone else. You show up for someone else, but you won't show up for yourself. So this message is to let you know that you don't have to be afraid to take that step. And your idea is probably simple. With whatever you got going on in your mind, whatever you got going on in your life, that idea can come to life. You just got to make it happen. You can't wait for that perfect moment, for everything to be in alignment. You have to make decisions and choices that allow you to win. Whatever it may be, you got to figure that out and how to make it happen for yourself. And sometimes you might even have something that's a quarter started, or it is fully started. You just got to put in that time, that work, that effort, that energy, and sacrifice a bit, and know that in the end, it's most likely going to work out. It's most likely going to come to life if you give it enough fuel, if you give it enough energy, if you give it enough time. And you have to be patient. What I learned over time is that sometimes people with success, one, they think they reached success before they actually reached it. And then they get this big ego and this big chip on their shoulders, and they start walking around like they're the fucking man or they're the woman. And they focus their energy on areas that doesn't help benefit them, doesn't help move them forward. They don't want to put in that time, that work, that effort, that energy. They want that quick decision to success. They want it instantly, and then shit falls apart. Like, for one, they generate a little bit of business capital and they just start spending it right away. From my experience and my business, I didn't pay myself for the first 5 years of the business. I put every single penny back in, and I had to work a full-time job to make that happen. And it didn't come easy. It didn't come easy to build what I've built. So, with that being said, with whatever idea that you have, and you might have multiple ideas, but just chase one and go all in on it. And just know it's gonna take a bit. Usually businesses are made or broken within the first 10 years. So 10 years time, from now until 10 years, just have that patience and put in that time, that work, that effort, that energy to build and grow that vision that you have, or that idea that you have, and start small. And you might ask yourself, well, how do I know it's worth it? And these are some answers to that question. 1, do you make money with it? 2, do you have clients? And 3, is it marketable? If the answer to those questions is yes, 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 keep going, keep pushing. It may not be big now, but it will slowly grow depending on how much time and effort and energy you put in to that thought, that idea, that business. And you got to live cheap, man. You got to live cheap, because you're utilizing your money as a tool to build and grow into something larger. So that's my message for the day. Don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid of what people may think. Don't be afraid of failure, because it might not work out, but that doesn't mean that's the end of your journey. That's the end of that idea or that business, but you keep pushing on, keep pushing forward, keep trying, and just have faith. And eventually, it'll pan out the way it's supposed to pan out. Whether it's going to work and be great, or it's going to fail and you move on from it. But something else to take into consideration is that if you don't try, then the outcome of that situation is unknown. And you don't want to live with doubt. You don't want to live with doubt 5 years down the road, thinking to yourself, well, what if I just tried that idea? Or what if I pushed a little harder? What if I saved a little more on an annual basis to make that happen? Maybe just 1 or 2 years. We have a whole lifetime of years and multiple days ahead of us to not make shitty choices and decisions and only live for the now. If you only live for the now, that's great, because sometimes that's all we have. But if you do have that vision or that idea, push for it. Push for it and make it happen for yourself.